My name is Chizaram. I am 13 years old, and my life has been a whirlwind of emotions and changes. I am 13 years old. Just a few months ago, I was a carefree child, but now, everything feels different. My world changed forever the day my mother became a memory, a beautiful yet painful memory that I hold close to my heart. A whisper in the wind, her presence is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Now it's just me and Papa, navigating this new reality, trying to find our way in a world that feels incomplete. A life shrouded in her absence. Every corner of our home echoes with the silence of her missing laughter. The pain is a constant ache, a reminder of what we lost and what we can never get back. A heavy cloak we both wear. It's a weight that seems to grow heavier with each passing day. Papa tries to be strong for me. He puts on a brave face, but I can see the cracks in his armor. He cooks, cleans, and even attempts to braid my hair. His clumsy fingers a stark contrast to Mama's gentle touch. Yet, his efforts mean the world to me. His clumsy fingers a stark contrast to Mama's gentle touch. Each attempt is filled with love and a longing to fill the void she left behind. But I see the guilt in his eyes. A guilt that he tries to hide but can never fully conceal. A flicker of something unspoken, something heavy. It's as if he blames himself for her absence.
It's in the way he avoids looking at her pictures. The way he sets the table for two but leaves one plate untouched. The way he flinches when her name is accidentally uttered. Her name is like a ghost that haunts our conversations. He thinks Chizaram doesn't notice, but she does. She sees everything, every stolen glance, every stifled sigh, every stolen glance, every stifled sigh. It's as if he carries the weight of her death on his shoulders, a burden that seems too heavy to bear. It's as if he carries the weight of her death on his shoulders, a burden he believes he deserves. He carries it with a sense of duty and regret, a burden he believes he deserves. In his silence, he punishes himself, thinking it's the only way to honor her memory. And in his silence, she finds herself carrying it too. Chizaram carries not just her own grief, but the weight of her father's sorrow as well. Together, they navigate this sea of emotions, hoping to find a shore where they can both find peace. The silence in the house is deafening. It's a silence that speaks volumes, echoing through the empty hallways and rooms that once were filled with laughter and life. It's a suffocating presence, a constant reminder of what they've lost. Tonight, it's particularly unbearable. The weight of their grief hangs heavy in the air, making it hard to breathe, hard to think, hard to do anything but feel the pain of their loss. Chizaram lies in bed, her pillow damp with tears she tries to muffle. Each sob is a testament to the depth of her sorrow, a sorrow that seems to have no end. Suddenly, she feels her father's presence in the doorway. His silhouette is a familiar comfort, a reminder that she is not alone in her grief. He doesn't speak, just sits beside her on the bed. His presence is a silent testament to his own grief, a grief that mirrors her own. His hand rests on her back, a silent offering of comfort. It's a small gesture, but in this moment, it means everything. In the darkness, she feels his gaze upon her, heavy with unspoken words, words that neither of them can find, but both understand.
Do you think she knows how much we miss her? Her voice trembles, each word a struggle against the tears that threaten to spill over.
Her voice is thick with unshed tears. Tears that have been held back for too long. Tears that need to be shed. His hand on her back stills for a moment. It's a pause filled with the weight of his own emotions, a moment of shared understanding.
She knew how much we loved her. His voice is steady, a rock in the storm of their emotions.
His words, though laced with sorrow, offer a sliver of solace. They are a reminder that their love was real, that it was felt, and that it mattered. Offer a sliver of solace. In the midst of their pain, there is a small comfort in knowing that their love was known and felt. In that shared moment of grief, they are not alone. They have each other, and in that, there is a small measure of comfort. Together, they will find a way to carry on, to remember, and to heal. The morning light paints the walls with a deceptive cheerfulness. Chizaram finds her father in the kitchen, his back to her as he prepares breakfast. The air is thick with the aroma of frying plantains, a familiar scent that brings a bittersweet ache to her chest. He turns, and their eyes meet. His gaze lingers, searching hers. And for a moment, The world around them fades away. It's as if he's trying to decipher a hidden message in her eyes, a message only he understands.
Morning, Papa.
Her voice is barely a whisper.
Morning, Chizaram.
His voice is strained. He averts his gaze, the intensity of his stare replaced with a familiar sadness. The weight of his guilt hangs in the air between them, an unspoken barrier to their usual easy banter. Breakfast used to be filled with laughter, Mama's infectious energy filling every corner of their small kitchen. Her laughter was like a melody that set the tone for the day, and her stories, always animated, made the simplest of meals feel like a grand celebration. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the scent of fried plantains, creating a comforting atmosphere that wrapped around them like a warm hug. Now, it's a solemn affair. The once vibrant kitchen feels hollow, the silence almost deafening. The absence of Mama's voice is a void that nothing seems to fill. They eat their plantains and eggs in silence, the clatter of cutlery the only sound breaking the heavy quiet. Each bite feels like a chore, a reminder of the joy that has been lost. The food, though prepared with the same care, tastes different, as if the grief has seeped into every morsel. Chizaram steals glances at her father, his face etched with a weariness that goes beyond lack of sleep. His eyes, once bright with mischief and love, now seem distant, clouded by sorrow. She wonders if he notices her looking, if he feels the same emptiness that she does. He pushes the food around his plate, his appetite, like hers, diminished by grief. The once hearty breakfasts now feel like a burden, a reminder of what they have lost. The silence between them is heavy, filled with unspoken words and shared pain. But even in his sadness, he remembers. He remembers the little things that made their mornings special, the small rituals that Mama had created to show her love. He reaches for the honey, a silent offering for her tea. It's a small gesture, but it speaks volumes. It's his way of keeping Mama's memory alive, of showing Chizaram that even in their grief, there is still love. It was Mama's ritual, a small act of love she bestowed upon Chizaram every morning. The honey in her tea was more than just a sweetener, it was a symbol of her care, a daily reminder that she was loved.
Thank you, Papa. Her voice is soft, almost a whisper, but it carries the weight of her gratitude and her sorrow.
Her voice catches in her throat. He nods, a faint smile gracing his lips. It's a small moment, but it's enough to bring a flicker of warmth to their hearts. In that small gesture, a flicker of warmth pierces the darkness that surrounds them. It's a reminder that even in their deepest sorrow, they still have each other. And in that, there is hope. We move through the motions of our day, our grief a constant shadow.
I catch Papa staring at Mama's picture on the mantelpiece, his eyes filled with a longing that mirrors my own.
We visit Mama's grave, the silence of the cemetery amplifying our unspoken grief.
As Papa tends to her grave, clearing away fallen leaves, I see a tear roll down his cheek.
He quickly wipes it away, as if ashamed to show his vulnerability.
Later, as we listen to her favorite record, a compilation of old High Life songs, a rare smile touches Papa's lips.
He tells me stories of their courtship, their laughter echoing through the room, momentarily chasing away the shadows of our sorrow.
Papa is not a man of many words.
His love is expressed in subtle ways. A comforting hand on my shoulder during a late-night thunderstorm. A gentle smoothing of my hair as I struggle with my homework.
One evening, as I sit on the porch swing, lost in thought, I feel his presence beside me.
He doesn't say anything, just sits there, his warmth a comforting presence.
He reaches out, his rough hand engulfing mine.
It conveys his love, his pain, his silent plea for forgiveness. His touch speaks volumes.
And in that simple gesture, I find myself clinging to him, drawing strength from his presence. Our bond is forged in the crucible of shared grief. It's a bond strengthened by unspoken words, by shared tears, by the understanding that we are all each other has left.
We find solace in routine, in the familiar rituals of daily life.
We cook together, my clumsy attempts at recreating Mama's recipes met with your gentle guidance.
We reminisce about Mama, sharing stories, laughing at her quirky habits, her infectious laughter echoing in our memories.
And slowly, gradually, the sharp edges of our grief begin to soften. We find solace in unexpected places, in the vibrant colors of the bougainvillea that climbs the walls of our house, a testament to Mama's love for gardening.
In the melodic chirping of the birds that gather at our doorstep each morning, their cheerful songs, a reminder that life goes on.
We find solace in each other's company, in the shared silences that speak volumes, in the knowing glances that convey a depth of understanding words cannot express.
And slowly, gradually, we begin to heal. The pain of Mama's absence never truly goes away. It lingers like a shadow, resurfacing at unexpected moments.
A familiar scent, a half-forgotten song, a sudden downpour of rain.
There are days when the grief threatens to overwhelm us, when the silence becomes unbearable.
But we've learned to navigate these moments. We talk about Mama, sharing our favorite memories, finding comfort in keeping her spirit alive. We are bound by an invisible thread, woven from love, loss, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. We are two halves of a broken whole, finding solace and strength in our togetherness.
The journey ahead is long, and there will be challenges.
But as I look at you, your eyes mirroring my own grief, I know we will face them together.
For in each other, we have found not only a shared pain, but an unbreakable bond. We have found the strength to carry on, to honor Mama's memory by embracing life with all its joys and sorrows. We have found hope in the midst of despair, a testament to the enduring power of love.